Are we live?
We're live, party people
Live.
in the house. What's up, everybody? This is Emily Hackett here. I am with my very dear and old friend, Savanna Gasway.
Hi, everybody.
We are going to be tie-dyeing today. We're going to be learning all kinds of techniques with Savanna, and I'm going to play some tunes, and we're just going to have a nice little Saturday morning for West Coasters, early afternoon for everybody else. So thank you so much for hanging out with us. Hi, Maya. Hi, Rich. As you guys are all getting settled, I'm going to let Savanna take over pretty much from here. She is the boss. So take it away, Savanna. Yeah.
All right. Hey, guys. I am so excited that everybody is coming through today to hang out with us and just try to get together virtually and spend some time like learning something new, hanging out, listening to music. I think it's going to be an absolute blast. So we're going to go through just, the basics of tie-dyeing, as well as I'll throw in some fun facts and just some extra knowledge that I have. And we're going to get a little down and dirty together and definitely dye bandanas, t-shirts, whatever it is that you guys have on them today.
I'm hoping that most of you guys got your Emily Hackett bandanas that I made hand stamped for everybody, but the U.S. Postal Service is kind of not the greatest at the moment. So here's to hoping. But if you guys do get this in later, you will have all of the tie-dyeing techniques now to do it on your own. So.
All right, so I just want to check in. We have Allie here, and she's saying she's struggling to get on the live. So are we sure that everybody's all squared away, or
okay?
Technical.
And you're clicking on, so everyone who is trying, well, I guess.
Well, I can post this on my story. I can post this on my story if you want to tell us how for all the technological dummies.
Yeah, it's just in the email that I sent.
Okay. I didn't
Great technical.
I don't read emails. What?
I will do a story right now for anyone who hasn't checked their email.
Here is the link. Got it.
All right. So for the people that are here, I have never done anything like this before, never done how-tos, but I'm really looking forward to sharing some stuff with you guys because I've been doing this for a few years now, and I think it's a really fun pastime. I know it's a huge trend right now, and instead of spending like $60+ on some manufactured tie-dye sweatshirt or something off Etsy, you can figure out how to do it yourself and actually have it be an activity, and it's way more special when you make it yourself. All right, so let's get into it. I know earlier on Instagram, earlier this week, I was talking about how you guys would all need an at-home tie-dye kit. And I suggested the tulip one. I know that Emily is using the tulip one that's the tie-dye party kit. It's the kit and caboodle one. And so with that, there's a bunch of colors, but just like all of your kits, it'll have rubber bands, plastic gloves, and the color is going to be inside each application bottle. Don't go filling those up with water just yet. Let's wait on that. I'm going to go over mixing your colors.
Oops.
But, yeah, I already did that.
We're learning, right? This is a learning process.
It's a learning experience. We're going to learn lots of new stuff. But so first off, we want to talk about just setting up your space and making sure that you have all of your equipment and everything that you're going to need nearby. But at the same time, this is like a wet activity, and you might have to get up and go to the sink or get a new bowl of water or whatever. So also, pardon me, because sometimes I might have to do that as well. But so go ahead and get your tie-dye kit all unwrapped, get everything laid out so you know where everything is. And for me, I like to definitely get some paper towels for testing out what your color looks like. And then I like to have like a large bowl or cup of water nearby for filling some of these. They're not that big, so you can have like at least some little well of water, so you're not going to the sink like multiple times. And then aside from that, I also really prefer to have the clothes be damp before I start folding and everything. So you'll either want to run to the sink and get those damp now and have them sitting there so you can grab them when you're ready to dye, or put them in like a large bowl for now, but you'll want to make sure that those are damp. And then I figured I should go over this just because last night, Rachel and Judy Hackett gave me a call because they struggled in finding an at-home tie-dye kit. So they actually went and bought a bunch of professional colors, which is awesome, but that comes with a little bit of extra work involved. So when you do buy professional grade colors, you're going to be getting them like in a jar like this, and they're just a bunch of powder. And they're awesome, and there's such a variety of colors. And if you ever decide you really want to keep doing this, that's the way to go. But at the same time, it does require that you prep your fabric first. And that basically means making sure that you use a fixative before you really get into it. The one that is most common for tie-dyeing and for cotton is called soda ash. It's called soda ash, yes. Thank you, Allie.
Let her teach.
I was writing it a second ago in my little game plan. I meant to write soda ash, actually wrote soda ash. But so soda ash, it's actually sodium bicarbonate. It's kind of essentially baking soda, but it basically breaks down the fibers within the fabric and makes it more vulnerable to the dye, so that you'll end up having a more vibrant shirt that lasts a lot longer without washing out and fading over time. So if you do with these like tie-dye kits, the tulip kits, there's actually a fixative inside the color. So you don't have to do anything to prep your stuff if you do have the tulip kit. But if you are like Rachel and Judy and you got professional colors, you definitely need to have soda ash or baking soda or something like that, or even sometimes vinegar works, to soak your clothes for about 5 to 15 minutes before you get into it. So I think right now, while you kind of absorb everything I said, get your area set up, make sure you have, a big cup of water, some paper towels, maybe go get your fabric wet or put it in a bowl with some water so that it's damp before folding. And just kind of, get a drink, get a snack, get ready to get into it. We're going to switch over to Emily, and she's going to play some music for us.
Yeah, so you guys get all your stuff that you didn't know you needed. And while you're doing that, I will play a little tune for you.
Oh, really quick, also, make sure you have like trash bags, grocery sacks, stuff like that. You'll want something to keep, put between your fabric that you're dyeing and the surface that you're working on. And then you'll want to have like grocery sacks or Ziplocs or something to put your stuff in after you put the dye on. That's it.
There's some under the sink, Chels. All right, so I figure I will go ahead and see if I didn't warm up this morning. Bad on me, not setting a good example. But that's all right. I'm gonna go ahead and play a song that I released a few weeks ago, and I put out the music video for it yesterday. So this is called Handle after I get tuned up. Sorry, my guitar is outside. It was hot. If I were to shut my mouth, you'd still be on this couch. We would be binge watching season 3 of Stranger Things by now. If I were to see your side, you'd be asleep by now. Instead of me trying to stay calm while the bombs going off in my mind. I keep saying sorry. You just open your arms up to me. I would kill to be what you are for me. I'll gracefully get used to men who get into me. Don't know why I'm this way. My mouth goes before I rain. It's like all the furniture fits just a bit, needs to be rearranged. I keep saying sorry. You just open your arms up to me. I want you to be what you are. I'm ungracefully getting used to men who get into me. I would kill to be what you are for me. I'll gracefully getting used to men, getting used to men. Oh, I want you to be what you are for me. I'm ungracefully getting used to men who get into me. Gotta love the yard work that my neighbors just started. That was Handle, and I'm just super excited about the music video that just came out for that. So if you guys haven't already watched it, please go do so. It's truly magical, and I feel like it's okay for me to say that solely because I was just the person that was in the video, and everything that happened to the video was just beautiful art by my friend Bo Reinhardt and Jacob Stillman. And I just thought it was so appropriate for the video to come out at the same time that we're working on independent art right now. So this is just a fun day, and yeah, rock on.
Yeah, I can definitely attest to the music video being pure magic. It is stunning. I absolutely loved it. And we have two geniuses over here messing with my lighting. Two fan favorites, Allie and Terry.
I thought I was gonna make it better.
And they have permanently dimmed my lighting.
Look, it looks better, dude.
Great. Okay.
Cool.
So, anyway, fix it.
Sorry, I was muted because it was so loud here for a second. Thank you for all of those kind of things. It's like all the yard work just started right now. This is hilarious, but it's fine. We're having a good time. So, by the way, is everyone cool with? I just want to make sure that everyone listening is hearing appropriately. Usually we do headphones, and I realized we don't have headphones on, so I'm not getting any feedback. As long as you guys aren't getting any feedback, but please let us know in the comments if you are.
Yes, and definitely please feel free to ask questions. I know Emily's going to keep an eye on the chat, so if I'm moving too fast, or you missed something, or you just have a question that I haven't gone over, just shoot us something in the comments, and we'll make sure that we cover it. But okay, so I hope everybody got their setup done and all the stuff that you're going to need throughout. But if you're missing something, no worries. I'm for sure probably going to have to get up at some point here because that's just the way it goes. But So I guess the first thing we're going to get into is folding techniques, and there are seriously 1 million. There's just so many different ways that you can do tie-dye, and I think that's the real fun in it. Something that I truly believe is that there's no mistakes in tie-dye, just because it can always just end up totally surprising you, and you have one thing in mind and an idea of what you want something to look like, and then you spill something on it, or you just completely mess up, or a color doesn't look right or something, and it actually ends up being way cooler than you ever intended in the first place. So that is something I truly enjoy about tie-dye. So I have a bunch of examples behind me. So let's get into it. Obviously there's the super popular swirl technique, which is like just the ultimate classic, and you can see that on this sweatshirt here, little crop, just did this recently, and then it's also visible on this little bodysuit here. And this is really step through here, friend. Here's another really cool swirl example.
White space with the swirl.
Cool stuff. Bodysuit example, and then these jobs.
That is so cute. Those are all so cute. I love that one.
These were like the bane of my existence for a minute, because one thing that just is inevitable when you're tie-dyeing stuff, and everything's made of different materials and has been through something, and it's like manufacturing process, you're just not always sure how something's going to react to the dye, no matter what, even if you are checking like what it's made of. And these are cotton joggers. I got these with the intention to bleach dye them, and they would not bleach. Like nothing happened to them with bleach, and they're normal cotton blend. I have no idea what the deal is with the dye already on here, the like dusty rose dye, but yeah, so I intended to bleach these. It did not work, and had to go back, and I actually tie-dyed these with black twice to get this. But so that's just kind of something that happens throughout this when you start getting into like trying to find cool clothes to dye, but they've been through other things before you decide to own them. I actually left these on so I could speak about them. I have been working on these socks a lot recently, and I cannot get them to dye. I don't know what the deal is. They are cotton. They have been pre-treated. If I rinse those, they will be almost fully white. So that's just like part of the game sometimes. But yeah, so anyway, with folding techniques, swirl is one of the most popular. And then right now, what's super popular just currently is the crumple dyeing. So recently I did this sweatshirt, which was crumple. I totally love this one. I love the colors. This one my mom actually did, and it is awesome. And she cut it too so that it would have the cute little cropped knot. And she actually did like a bunch of stuff to make it so faded and cool. But here's another one. I actually did this with the intention of going for like a 90s grunge look for this event, because I know that's like Emily's vibe. I know she was wanting to see something like that. So I think I definitely intended for this to have more white space than it does, but I still think it turned out pretty cool. Here is one that's super cool, but something to know about this is while it is the same crumple technique, it is ice dyed, and so it creates kind of more of that almost what would you say that looks like? It looks like
there's like a gradient in it,
right? It's almost normal. Like kind of how a cool like gemstone would look, or crystal would look, or like I don't know. It gets. Yeah, I don't know if you can see like, it well there, but
you can see the melting.
Yeah.
Oh, sorry, I'm like.
No, you're good.
Yeah.
So that is something we'll talk about too. But basically, the gist is to say that all of these things. This is like super muted. I just did this recently, nice pastel vibe. But all this is the same folding technique. And that's what's really cool about Crumple is that stuff is going to look super different no matter what. And I mean, especially with Crumple, you can never really totally recreate the same thing twice. And then kind of the final folding technique that we're going to talk about is accordion style. And I have 3 examples of this. This is accordion style. I did this for a band that hired me in college to do some rounds of merch for them. And I ended up keeping 2 of them for myself because I just love these ones. But so I'm going to show you how you get this symmetrical mirrored look as well. But this is an accordion fold that, if you remember back in school when they would tell you to fold something kind of like a paper fan, just back and forth folding, that's how you get this look. And then this one is kind of the same vibe, but without the symmetrical aspect of it, and with the intention of having a lot more white space.
And just so everyone knows, while Savanna's going over all these different types of tie-dye because she is wanting everyone to see what you like and what maybe you want to learn, and she's going to go over how we do these folds shortly. So, you know, I see some messages asking about how much color to mix and whatever. Like, she'll get there. We're just doing one step at a time. So folds and rubber banding will happen first. So she's just kind of showing you what your options are.
For sure. We're going to get into all the nitty gritty on all these things. I'm going to show you how I got these different looks. Right now, I just wanted to kind of show you the vast variety of results that you can get from different techniques. This is also a very unique one. That's a combination of using like swirl and accordion. So anyway, yes, the intention is basically just to show you that the possibilities are endless, and we're gonna like get into how to pull some of this stuff off. Okay.
Are people gonna message Emily and tell you guys which ones they want to do?
There's like a comment section for people to ask questions. Okay, so I have some t-shirts here that have been pre-treated. I think the first thing that we want to get into is Swirl, just because I think it's the most classically popular. And it's also super duper simple. Where's that other bag of rubber bands?
If you need me to like get anything right now, you just tell me.
Okay, cool.
I'll grab it from Vanna.
You guys can both be my Vannas.
Mom's gonna tie dye, so I can be Vanna.
I keep getting stuff on my shirts.
Here, let me clean your shirt. I haven't picked my colors yet. It's all tie dye later. This is another.
I already wiped it, but
This is another thing I want to tell them.
yeah, I mean, so I constantly have to like wipe this down because there will be like residual dye that happens on your surface that you're dyeing on. So just and your rubber bands too. Rinse off your rubber bands with like if you want to reuse them, which that's a huge waste. But you can end up getting dye from an old shirt on a new one if you don't keep your stuff clean, which I am kind of I'm bad about doing, to be honest. So luckily I'm a go with the flow kind of person, so the fact that there's like a little bit of glue on here, I'm not gonna freak out about it. So I think you can see pretty well here. So, I was gonna try to do like a bird's eye view, but I don't think no, I don't think so. I work pretty hard.
I think we're good. I can see you. I think everyone can see you pretty well.
All right, cool.
Yeah.
So first one's going to be a swirl. This one, make sure no matter what, when you're folding, you're just going to get basically the more wet your shirt is, the more detail your fold is going to have. I mean, I think that makes a lot of sense. It's obviously like stickier when it's wet. You're able to get more defined folds than if it's dry. And then when you actually are putting the dye on, it doesn't spread the same way. It's definitely more of a like muted look the less wet it is. So with a swirl.
So if you don't want swirl, you just hang out.
Okay.
Yeah, so if you don't want swirl, we've got some live tie-dyers with us. This is Alex and Matt, and we're just Alex had a question of saying, so if we don't necessarily want to do a swirl, we'll hang out and you'll explain another option.
For sure. And also, you know, if you want to watch all of them and then decide what you want to do, like, this is very loose in terms of timeline. I am super happy to like go through a quick version of showing you guys how to do each one, and then if there's questions and you want me to go over something, that's cool too.
There's a green one.
But yeah, right now I figure go over swirl first and then we can talk about the others. Doesn't take a long time for folding. So, but for swirl, you're going to want to find the center of the shirt. And I literally use my thumb and my pointer finger and pinch it. And then you just start rotating. I go clockwise. And I like to keep it pretty tight. And I like to make sure that I can see my layers here. Like, you're going to start to see the folds already. And you don't want it to look like a weird tunnel. Like, you don't want it to be where the center is completely buried. You want to be able to keep it as flat as possible. So keep spinning it. Trying to keep it flat. And you can actually put your palm on top of the swirl and keep it going further. That really ensures that it stays flat. And then as I get further out into the shirt, away from the center, I personally like to finish the rest of it by feathering the shirt out. So you're going to move it and manipulate the shirt.
I'm laughing at my concentration face because I'm watching you. I'm like,
I'm talking. My concentration face involves me having my tongue out, and it's very embarrassing. It's from the same side.
like to the side. Like,
But I hope you can see. I don't want these to be in the way.
Your lighting is so much better than mine right now, so you're good.
Okay, cool. So you're going to basically move to different areas of the shirt. You'll see these folds here, and just keep feathering out the shirt in the direction of where the swirl is going, and go little by little depending on how like detailed you want your swirl to be. But so now that I did all that side, I'm coming around here on the back side and I'm feathering this way and keep just dragging from that side and basically little by little moving around to the point where it all ends up in one little circle. If that makes sense? Is that good? Yeah. You get it? Yeah. Okay. So, sorry, I'm checking in with my Vanna Whites over here because I've never done a real like how-to. So, want to make sure I'm speaking in terms that actually make sense. But, so you're going to want to leave it flat on the table when you're going into the rubber banding process. And the easiest way, stretch it out a little bit, especially your new rubber bands. You're going to want to like give those a little stretching moment so they have some give. And I can wait a second if people are still like messing with their.
So if mine looks a bit more like a rose as opposed to like, do I want to like kind of loosen it back up and flatten it out more?
Well, let's see it. Can you point towards yours? This might be a, like helpful.
Yeah. Let's see. So I've got like, it's kind of it's a little deep in there. It's not as flat as I'd like it to be.
Right. Well, it's not necessarily a bad thing. Like,
okay.
I always try to keep mine as flat as possible. If you want to try to redo and work into it a little bit more, I would say like, just for me, it's that moment where I use my palm and twist it a little bit further. That keeps it from like that initial point where it was just my thumb and my index finger. It keeps it from the rest of the shirt, like wrapping around those fingers, and makes it flat while I get deeper into like the outer skirts of the shirt. However, it'll still look good even if it's not perfectly flat. I don't want everybody to get super caught up on this stuff, and
totally,
obviously the more you do it, the better you'll get at it, and you'll also figure out ways that you like to do it. So yeah, that's the fun part. There's no necessarily like right or wrong answer, but
which is why we love tie-dye.
Yep. And that's actually, I spoke with Emily about this yesterday when we were kind of game planning for today, I think that's like the biggest lesson I want to teach regarding tie-dye is the fact that it is such a go with the flow thing. And I think it's really amazing in terms of the fact that like you can't control every aspect of it. And I think it's just a great metaphor for life, whether you're somebody that is kind of a control freak and like can't deal with the stuff that doesn't go exactly according to plan, and it's like frustrating for you, and right, like a lot of us, or you're somebody who's super go with the flow and you like that sort of, you know, spontaneity, that sort of thing. Like either way, I just think it's a great practice for either fostering that further or for having those moments where you can breathe and be like, okay, no, this isn't what I planned, but I need to just let this ride, keep moving forward, and I bet you this will turn out way more beautiful than I even intended in the first place. And I just think that's very true for life as well. So I just find it therapeutic in that way. Especially in times right now. Everything's so uncertain. Everything's really tough and like uncharted territory that I just feel like that's kind of the attitude we have to have.
We got to be okay with that right now.
Yeah. So anyway, with the actual rubber banding process, keep it on the flat surface and just make your rubber band get wide and keep it flat across the table and plop it on there, and don't lift your shirt up at all.
And we're going like, is it going like across?
Yeah, so start out and do across horizontally, and then your next one you're going to do across vertically.
Okay, cool.
So do 2 rubber bands perpendicular to each other.
Now, Savanna, a quick question. Since you're doing a t-shirt, I'm working on a bandana at the moment. That's probably my fault. I should have done a t-shirt because I know you're eventually going to do a bandana. But if this rubber band is kind of loose, do I want to double it?
Yeah, double it.
Okay.
And for that, since it is such a small piece, it's no worries that you're having to like pick it up to actually kind of manhandle it a little bit.
Cool.
These are so large that like it's kind of like a pancake. You don't want to pick it up because it's going to fall apart. But
Right.
that, I think it's easier to manipulate. But think of this process when you're doing a swirl. Think of it kind of like a pizza. So I just did 1 rubber band horizontally, did 1 vertically. So the next one I would want to do it diagonally, as if I am creating slices of a pizza. So I'm doing diagonally from this like southwestern corner to the northeastern one, and then I'm going to do the opposite. So here to here, and I don't mind getting up and showing mine. So I'm going to do the opposite.
12 to 6.
Yeah. So 12 to 6, 3 to 9, 7 to
10.
7 to 2.
7 to 2.
That seemed easier until you said it.
Okay.
So I'll just get up and show you guys. No, great. I mean, great try. It made sense to me at first. So this is how it looks at the end. You got your pizza slices.
Or pie.
Or your pie, whatever. Don't discriminate. So that is your swirl fold. And it's okay if these things like stick out. If you want them to get tucked in, that's cool too. It doesn't really matter. Thank you. So that is it for the swirl. We're gonna put this aside for right now. And you know what? I'm actually
Which one are we doing next?
so next, let's do. We did swirl. The 2 others that we're gonna go over is crumple.
Awesome.
So
Cool.
let's do crumple because that is literally super easy and super popular and just like honestly, I think my new favorite tie-dye. So last night I did one swirl. I did your merch shirt as a swirl with like an olive color. I just did 1 color. And then I did a crumple t-shirt, and it's a mix of like a marigold, like a mustardy yellow, and a lavender. Those are my first times even using those 2 colors, so no judgment for people if it looks weird. But so I'm gonna open those up on camera later.
What? Oh, I got a question for you. I don't know if you can see it. Rachel asked, thin or thick rubber bands? We have both. It doesn't really matter thick or thin rubber bands, right? As long as it gets tight enough.
Yeah, it doesn't really matter because it's not going to affect the actual pattern once you put the colors on it. For swirl, especially, it's just for making those pizza or pie wedges.
Right.
It's not actually going to like make a difference on where your white space is or anything like that.
Okay, cool.
Just whatever's going to like hold it together well.
Strange.
Whatever. Yeah, I mean, you can literally use dental floss. Just hold it together.
Okay, cool. So the rubber bands are more for like so you can kind of see where, you know,
there are
where your dye is going to go.
Techniques where it does matter the like thickness of your rubber banded section, but not for the swirl.
Cool.
Okay. Which I don't have examples of a couple, but there's really simple stuff that people can do. Like if you want to do a bullseye, that's like so easy. I can show that.
Cool.
Too. But so with Crumple, so easy, super awesome. Right now, I think like 1 to 2 color Crumple is like the most popular thing going on out there. And it's so great because it's not difficult at all. Definitely want wet clothes for this, especially like if you are doing a sweatshirt, very, very wet so that you can get it crumpled tight and actually have that like texture show through. Like even though this one's super muted and all that, it still had to be like done very tightly. So that's just kind of the key with Crumple, I feel like, is to make sure you do it tightly. But basically with Crumple, I mean, you're literally just gathering it in different sections around the shirt. Like here, I just did like a section here and a section here. And then I like to push those together so that the center is also nice and crumply. And then you just kind of like move the rest of the shirt towards the crumples. And it's all about just making sure you're like.
So she's just, we lost your visual, Savannah.
Back.
Yep, sorry. Somebody tried to FaceTime me.
Don't call Savannah.
Yeah, I have my employee over here. She's going to come for you.
So can you kind of do that process one more time, a little bit slower?
Yeah, for sure. Okay, I'm unfrozen. So here we are, our flat, fresh, wet t-shirt. And you can start from anywhere. Doesn't really matter. I like to start from the bottom.
Okay.
But with Crumple, you literally I start with 2 areas and just tightly scrunch those up together. Scrunch, scrunch, scrunch. And then I like to make sure these are scrunched together as well so that the center is also tight. Sorry, we have a stranger outside the door. Always exciting stuff here. Okay, so just basically you're going to move throughout the shirt, scrunching up different areas and pushing it all together. Okay. This part is so easy. In my opinion, the actual rubber banding of these shirts is pretty hard. That's just my opinion. My mom's like, I don't think it's hard at all, but I think it's simple.
Well, you guys have multiple tie-dye extremists in the family, so
we just have multiple medium extremists.
Yes, that's true. It's an art household.
You should have seen when Mom went to a pottery class and didn't produce a perfect item the first try.
Not even a usable item.
It was like she was gonna throw something at the instructor.
I wasn't looking for perfect. I was.
Now, Terry, that's not what our message is today.
For my birthday last year, we went to Mud Fire Indicator, really cool place, and they had date nights or group classes on the potter's wheel, and so that's what we did for my birthday. And I will just go out on a limb and say, number 1, working on the potter's wheel is extremely hard. Number 2, not everyone's gonna be a magical, apprentice level potter on the first go. And we just, if you want to see who's the who the real competitor is in the family, go do that. You will find out.
The message is, perfection's not a thing. Your tie-dye should just be fun and practice.
Coming from
That's exactly right.
Shut up! Are you serious? Anyway, so we have crumpled this up into sorry, we're also a traveling comedy show. Anyway, we have crumpled this up into one large little scrunched up ball, but this part, which I don't know if all of your rubber bands are the same size in your tie-dye kits. Can you fill me in on what
They
you got?
are in mine, yeah, in the tulip kit. They're the same size.
Okay, so no worries. I'm gonna use like a combination of some smaller ones, but you'll be good no matter what size they are. But you're gonna want to just grab like sections of this and tie it together. It's not gonna be perfect. We're really driving that home. There is no perfect with tie-dye.
Are you kind of making like if, for lack of better terms, like little pimples?
Like little what?
Like little pimples on top of the
Like large
buds,
pimples.
like
large pimples.
Yeah, like flower
Okay.
buds.
like buds.
Like this size.
Like bumps, yeah,
Whatever
little
you
mountains.
Like
Do you want me to use this?
I don't care about redoing my bud so far. My first bud is that big.
But you can make
Okay.
You can make them large, you can make them small. But I like to do like multiple small ones because you can kind of see more of the actual canvas of the shirt when you're putting the color on. The more like the smaller multiples for me allow me to kind of see a guide of where my color is actually going.
Okay.
Yes, that one.
Well, obviously, your buds might be a little smaller on a bandana than a shirt.
Buds on a bandana are going to be super small. Your bandana is going to be in a little ball in about 5 seconds because it's just not very much fabric.
Yeah.
But
So if anyone had those like mini, like I actually have a mini rubber band in my hair right now. Those like
Me too.
box ones. Those are good options.
definitely do that. Like for an example, I mean, this is the size of rubber band. This is rolled up. Like this is the size that I'm using.
Right.
Like I know exactly what you're talking about. I have the tiny ones in my hair right now.
Yeah. And we're making all these until they're like kind of all together, like tight.
Basically, it's not going to be something that you can like move around. You definitely want to like keep this where it's at for the most part. It's essentially more so just guaranteeing that you have areas of the shirt that are staying scrunched up throughout the dyeing process, and also
I see.
something that shows you, you know, how much of the shirt you're doing in a certain color.
Okay. Cool.
But this is a very like, this is the most go with the flow fold of tie-dyeing for sure. And there's really zero way to mess this one up. So, like zero. Other than like oversaturating your shirt and it just being solid. That's the only way.
How's everybody out there doing? All of our viewers, let me know. You guys don't have dye on your fingers yet, so if you want to give us a, thumbs up or things going well.
Feedback is welcome. Let us know how you're doing. Let us know if you have questions.
And the other thing about this too, guys, that's going to be cool is that because this is via YouTube, like when we're done with this whole process, you can always access this again. And if you need a reminder when you want to get back to this, then you always have that. So
Yeah, super cool. So here's mine, for example. There's 6.
okay, so she's got 6 balls.
6 little pods.
Awesome.
And when I lay them down, I'll want to continue to keep them as squished together as possible so that the parts in between the rubber bands are still in that like crumple mode.
Got it. So like on my bandana, for example, I only have 4, but everything seems to be pretty like well scrunched in the middle. So is that okay?
Yeah, it looks perfect.
Awesome. Sorry. There we go.
Let me get a bandana out so I can mess with it through.
Yeah, do you want to scrunch? So you can maybe even tuck it in like that. I might while you're doing this next one, might play a little bit. Is that a good
Yeah,
time?
why don't you play right now? I could actually really use hand washing really quick if that's cool.
Great. And then you'll do accordion next, right?
Yep.
Awesome.
Well,
Let's see, what should I play? I think I might do. I do an older one for you. Oh, sorry, I started playing another song. It's a similar progression. I keep chasing the light, wishing all stars that are disappearing. So hard, standing upright, telling myself, Lord, I carry. They say it's okay, no, this won't last forever. I know, or I hope, but it's still now or never. I keep on waiting, oh, for something to save me. This world is mine today. It is bringing me down, but I know right now that I ask myself, is it worth the wait? Worth the wait. I keep standing up back. Okay. Wow, y'all, it's been a long time since I played this. Stars that are disappearing. So hard, standing upright, taking my back on the Lord I carry. They say it's okay, no, this don't last forever. I know, or I hope, but it's still now or never. I keep on waiting, oh, for something to save me. This world is not the day. It is bringing me down. I know right now that I ask myself, is it worth the wait? Is it worth the wait? Yeah. I can see my road getting good. I can see the end getting good. My past looks good in the mirror, fading out of the view. I know it still won't be easy, as long as this heart's still beating. I won't let go, cause I need to know. I keep on waiting for something, for something to save me. This world is mine today. It is bringing me down. I know right now, but I ask myself, is it worth? Is it worth the wait? Yeah. Is it worth the wait? Is it worth the wait?
awesome. That is so good.
Thank you. Sorry about my my lack of memory there on the second verse, but we got the gist.
Happens to the best of us always. Okay, so we're gonna go over accordion, and this one I haven't done this in a while. Like I've done accordion recently, but in terms of the like mirrored image, the symmetrical t-shirt, I haven't done this in a while, so bear with me. I practiced a little bit last night, but you know, I'll mess with the bandana later, but oh, maybe. Okay, so I wanted to show you
This is my
guys
favorite.
That's cool.
how
You want to do another one?
nice symmetrical mirrored look. And one tip I want to give is that if you are like using an old shirt or something that has like a logo on it, you want to flip it inside out. Especially because that just help you actually see where you're putting your colors in it. I always preferred to do it that way. So I'm going to show the reverse of this shirt just so you can kind of visualize what's going on here. And then I can show you how it looks to accordion, something that's actually like wet and ready. I apologize if you can hear my dog.
No one figures it out.
He's not right next to us.
I'm tie-dyeing one of my friends' merch shirts today too, not just mine. This is Caitlin Tarver's merch shirt. It says, "I think I'm realizing no one figures it out." I thought that was appropriate.
That's awesome. So this is I forgot to mention this earlier. I know I mentioned it on Instagram earlier this week. In order to get this symmetrical design, I do end up using like a pen or Sharpie or something, just because you want to mark your center mark of the shirt, both on the front and the back. Sharpie will come out like throughout the process of dyeing, but that's also another reason I like to do these inside out, is so that just in case there's a little bit of leftover, then it's not, on your shirt, in the center of your shirt. And to be honest, especially with like a logo shirt, it's going to be easier for you to be able to see where the center of the shirt is. But I pretty much eyeball it, to be honest, just because with stuff like this, it's not everything's supposed to be so perfect and measured out and OCD. But so in order to get started on this, you want to make a mark at the center on the top, like the front kind of collar, which will be lower than the back, obviously. Make a mark on that, as well as a mark on the back one. And then kind of eyeball it. If you are a complete perfectionist and like you just can't stand it and you really want to make sure it's the center of the shirt, get some sort of straight edge. Try to make it more precise. But for me, I can't do that. So eyeball it and make a mark on the bottom on the first layer, and flip it over. Make sure you're marking on the bottom layer too, so that you can see where your center marks are, no matter what.
I guess so. Yeah, maybe one in the center too. A little dot.
Okay. So you're gonna grab from your center mark on this is like the front of the shirt. Okay, the first layer on both the collar and the bottom hem. Like that. So you're picking up from the center mark that you made on the front collar and the front bottom hem. And you're going to lay that flat. And everybody's shirt, I hope, is wet.
Ew.
Get your shirt. I will make this.
Everyone make their shirt wet.
I'll get your shirt wet.
Okay. I think there's a way to make your screen bigger too, Savanna. I'm trying to figure that out, but
And were you watching like any comments or questions?
Yeah, Rachel was asking for a close up.
What does she want the close up on? Everything.
I'm not sure.
Yeah, and you guys feel free to stop me or ask questions. Doing something is very different from teaching something. So obviously I don't do this often. So I'm very, welcoming a lot of feedback.
We just flip it in half.
I get it. Yeah. Yeah, Savanna, if we're doing this technique on a bandana, is it,
On a bandana, it's not this difficult because it's a square. You're just holding it in half.
Okay, cool.
So bandana, super simple. This just to get like your full t-shirt front, back, and sleeves symmetrical. Mirrored.
Okay, cool.
Mirrored
Let me focus it.
each other.
Is that like closer up-ish enough?
Is that like any zeroed in? We can adjust it to be more angled down at the table if you'd like. We can try that.
It looks good to me.
Alright,
I
well,
suggest
Rachel-
to everybody who's watching to make your screen full screen, and then you might be able to just see everything a little bit better.
All right, so I went and made this shirt wet, and I still have my center markers for Sharpie. So to get back to where we were, taking the collar on the top on the front of the shirt and the bottom hem on the front of the shirt, and you're picking it up. You're holding it like that. Okay. And then you're gonna lay it flat. And you're gonna see some like weirdness and bunching here on this back side where the sleeve is. But try to make sure like your hem down here on the bottom is lined up. That'll just help you keep things straight down the line. So the next thing you're gonna do, as long as everybody's ready to move forward, I can hold off for a second, but next thing you're gonna do is go to the sleeve that's on the top and reach into it. And you're gonna find the sleeve that's on the other side. Okay. And flip it inside out. So here's the sleeve from the other side. Here's the sleeve from like the top layer. You're basically putting the one that's underneath through like and into the one that's laid on top. So try to get like the hem. Sometimes it rolls up and causes issues, but try to get the actual hems even to each other. Line up the like bottom seam here. And this is definitely like a more advanced thing, so I get it if people are like, you've lost me, I don't want to do this. But hopefully you're with me. We're here. We're in the sleeve.
And the sleeve.
You have questions, Emily? You have questions?
I got a little behind is all, but I think I'm good.
Which I can slow down for people, but basically what we did, we picked it up from the center marks on the front of the shirt and we laid it flat, went through the sleeve that was on top, and we found the sleeve underneath and pulled it through, try to line it up with the different seams that are there. And then what you're going to do is you're going to leave your hand inside the sleeve and follow this shoulder seam, the one that goes right here. You're going to follow it to the collar. You see like my hands down here.
Okay.
This is the end of the sleeve.
Yep.
And here's the shoulder seam.
Yep.
And do you have your shirt folded in half first?
Yes.
Okay. So once you do that, hold it from where the end of the shoulder seam is, like at the collar, and the end of the sleeve. You're gonna lift it up.
Yeah. There you go.
Let me see that. I can go over it again. I can do that whole thing again.
Yeah, maybe one more time.
Okay.
Bandana people are kind of just still chilling, right?
Yeah.
Because it's a square.
Yeah. Bandanas, you're literally folding in half.
Rachel says when we lay it back down, how do the sleeves land for the accordion?
Okay, so I'm starting from scratch again, Rach. I hear you. When we lay it back down, how did the sleeves land? Are you talking about after I pick up the center marks? So I'll do it again. Here's the top center mark.
Yep.
The front of the shirt. Bottom center mark on the front of the shirt. Just picking up one layer. Picking it up. Sleeves are all floppy. They're going to just land however they want to.
Mm-hmm.
Sleeves out. Sleeves are floppy. Got it? Okay. So lay it flat. Got caught on the table. Lay it flat. Okay. So we're going in. Here's our top sleeve. I go in, reach through the sleeve, You're going to find this other one. Here's the one on the other side. You're going to find it and just flip it into the sleeve that's closest to you on the top.
Got it.
Basically, make them one. Line them up.
Make them one.
Make them one. Line them up. Unfold the hems and stuff like that.
You're
once
unifying.
Yeah, take a minute to make sure it's lined up well.
Okay.
You're going to leave your hand in there. And the next thing is to I'm using my left hand. Use my left hand to go into the sleeves. And you're just looking to get to the hole where your head is, essentially. Like, you're basically through the entire shirt until your hand's back out.
Yeah.
You're just following the seam of where your shoulder is on the t-shirt. Once you get there, the essential goal here is to line up the seams with each other. You're ensuring that the sleeves are lined up, and you're ensuring that the shoulder seams are lined up.
Got it.
So do that.
Yeah, with the white shirt, you can see it pretty well. Like, here's this seam and here's that seam, so you can make sure that they're together.
People want to like really get this technique, but so I now took my hand out and I grabbed the end of that sleeve and the end where the collar meets and basically that point that we found a second ago.
Of both unified sleeves.
Pick it up from those 2 points.
Got it. And it creates.
Looks like it's folded in half, but it's like mirrored with each other.
I see.
Okay. Then you're gonna lay that flat.
Okay.
Take a minute to like check your seams, check your collar, line everything up, make sure it's not folded up.
Awesome. Thank you, Alex, for your.
Doesn't have to be totally perfect, but.
Is that beer?
What?
It looks like beer.
That's because you've never seen it just straight up.
My sweet husband made us margaritas.
Oh boy.
Cool boys here.
I want a marg.
Asking fun.
And I heard
That's a rumble reader specifically.
Mimosas this morning.
Oh, very nice.
Balance over here. But so now we have it laid out. It looks like it's folded in half. I hope everybody made it clear with these.
Come on, man.
And so with accordion,
More in there. More.
putting it like a paper fan. So you're going to take it and you're just going to be going and folding this corner over and then flipping it under. And maybe I need to bring the camera closer to me, but it's an over
Want me to like
and under.
cover it?
You can try.
Take it off or take
unplug
the
it.
whole?
I can take the whole thing.
Unplug it. No. Unplug the camera or the phone from the charger.
Oh,
And then just grab the whole thing.
I see.
Yeah.
Okay.
Cool. So let's see here. You close on. Yeah. That.
Oop.
Pretty good.
Or do you want me to come on that side?
I think that's good. That looks good.
Is that good? Okay.
Yeah.
So I'm taking this corner.
Yeah.
And I'm folding over.
Oh, I
And
wasn't
then I'm folding
expecting
under.
Yeah.
And like a paper fan. And as you can see, like the white areas are the parts that are folded under, and the colored areas are now the ones on the top.
Yeah. Oh,
They're
and
gonna
so
swirl.
and you're going from a corner in, and is this a specific corner that you chose? I'm sorry, I missed that.
I always prefer to start. I don't like to start. Here's the sleeve. I like to
Just the middle.
Yeah, like I like to
In the
start from
center of the start.
center of the shirt. You can see my center mark is over here. So like this is it's straight all the way across.
Sure.
Got it.
This side has the sleeve. So center of the shirt, the collar side. Yes, not the sleeve.
Everyone following my
So-
little YouTubers.
So over and under and over,
You're literally just fanning.
under, and you're fanning like an
You're just
accordion,
right.
like a fan. And it's obviously not going to be perfect here. I'm trying to do this shirt reverse just to show you guys, like from result straight to, because this is one of the ones where you can see the folds so well that I think I can show. But so this one, you want to make the folds as tight as you can. This is
That's
one of
so
those
nice.
things that you want to be precise about.
Ta-da.
It's a bandana.
And you can kind of like squeeze them together as you're going.
I think you still, and with the bandana, you're still doing it from a corner, right?
Yeah, still do it from a corner with the bandana. I would do it from a corner that is,
Like a center corner as well.
yeah, I would do
Okay.
a center.
Center corner. Cool.
Should I stay up close like this?
Yeah. And so sometimes when I get to the point where there's like a lot of fabric, I'll like build the fold out with my fingers and then squeeze it together rather than trying to keep doing this throughout the entire thing. I'm grabbing the next fold and then I'm squeezing it together. And that way you can keep your folds really tight and together without the risk of like losing everything you've already done over here. So I keep
Can I see that
going.
feather on the end under your arm? Like,
Yeah, this feather's out. Make sure that when you look at this, you want to make sure that you can see your distinct layers within each. Like it will spread out a little bit, but like you can tell each layer is still there. If that makes sense. So I can move this down a little bit if that's helpful. So we just keep grabbing your next section and move up.
I think this is right.
Keep grabbing, move up.
Okay, so you're just like, you're not like, you're continuing with the same.
So one thing that I said people might have missed
Mhm.
is it gets difficult as this section gets larger, this already folded up section gets larger, it gets difficult to continue doing this sort of like, you know, paper fan motion. And so I like to just grab my fingers like this and grab my next section.
I
Once
see.
it's wet, it maintains its shape, and then you just squeeze everything together.
I see.
And then
You
just
did it. See? Good job.
going.
This is what a bandana might look like.
All right. Show
And
'em.
then you'll start to feather. Cool.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Very
perfect.
good. Yeah.
And then, so I'll show you how to rubber band that in a second here. But, so yeah, then essentially you just are doing the same thing. You just start to incorporate in
Did you do it from the corner there, or you did it from the top?
Yeah, I think she said do it from
From the corner. You got it. Okay. Sorry, I'm muting us. We're
No, you're good.
teaching, we're teaching
Let
each
me know
other
if
via
there's any
you.
questions. But essentially, like I like to try to make sure it goes at like an angle here at the top. And then make sure you feather out your sleeves. But as you can see, it starts to get a little bit more like bulky when you get to those areas. But so I like to squeeze it all together. And in order to rubber band this, I go straight to the center, which I wish these were a little tighter, to be honest. But I just go for like an initial, just put a bunch in there just to
like that underslide,
make it sturdy. What?
like little slide.
Yes, that's the best way
I
to.
like this slide.
That's the best way to rubber band your stuff so that it maintains the shape that you just worked really hard to get. And that I'll do a smaller one because I have it, but y'all, since I know you have like one size rubber bands, most of you, don't worry about double knotting them just yet. Right now, we just want to like make sure this is all staying together first and foremost.
Some technique.
I'm a professional.
This
I know I haven't been showing it lately, but
the tie-dye slide.
Need a break.
I like to do this. Okay. I like to do.
So the rubber bands in this situation are really just to keep it all in place.
You're just trying to like keep it all together.
Cool.
And so something this is kind of personal preference. So this shirt was also ice dyed. All the accordion shirts I have were ice dyed, which is super cool. We're not doing it today, but I could also
Maybe tune in next time.
yeah, tune in next time. But with this, in order just to keep everything, you could leave it like this if you wanted. You could go through and double knot and really like try to get everything as tight as possible and keep it in this long thing. But I personally, I like to make my stuff more compact than that. And I like to kind of swirl it together.
Yeah. E for effort.
And rubber band it together like that. But
Okay.
it the way it was. You totally leave it there, and then you have a better idea also of like where the top of your shirt is and where the bottom is. That's more so just an easier way to be able to move them. But you can totally leave it like this. It still maintains your fold really well. And then you can see that your collar is up here and that your sleeve is right here. And so you can have a better idea of where you're applying your color. So if we're going to leave it like this, which I'm going to for the purpose of this, I would start to really get on here and do some tighter rubber bands just so that it is, gosh, that's loose, just so it's more secure.
But for the, for the sake of demo, we can just do multiple. It doesn't matter how many rubber bands.
So basically, I'm like tying this essentially like I would like a ponytail, you know, just get in there, try to make it tight, but you don't need to get too over the top with it because the rubber bands don't affect the pattern of this shirt. They're not going to affect the white space. They're simply just to keep it held together. And as you can see, I use like pretty loose rubber bands, singly done here, and it's still staying together.
Awesome.
Well, we're going to get to color application, no worries. You can kind of tell on this how the colors worked. As you can see, I didn't hold it exactly the same because there's white here, but anyway, we'll get into that.
Apply some to white shirts, right?
Sorry, what?
Are you gonna apply color to some white shirts?
Yeah.
Awesome.
This was essentially, I wanted to fold this up and show people
What it would look like.
what it looks like and how you get there.
Did you
Like
find
a
the
first journey here? But you're totally fine to leave it like this, and that is an accordion fold. And we'll get into color application on this. Yeah, I want to pause, see if there's any questions, because I know that one was definitely a lot more than the swirl or the crumple. Oh, also, you totally don't have to do this mirrored thing. If you want to just do like a sun ray.
Can y'all hear us? Here you go.
Yeah, they muted themselves.
Oh.
Yeah, sorry, we muted because we're talking. We're trying to talk through our,
Yeah, no,
you know, we got Matt over here who's just really, you know, he's like very unsure of himself, but we're trying to say, you know, like we said, tie-dyeing is,
It's unique. To
it is unique to the individual, and we are just doing our best to keep up with the
I just want to be
teacher.
expressive with it.
the best thing about tie is that their best is enough, always.
Exactly.
Everything turns out.
Your reference is not as good as everyone else's, but it's enough.
So here's another accordion, and I know people are probably working on stuff. So I'm gonna get into this just as a talking point. This, I did the same situation. I guess this would be considered more of like a sun ray, but it's essentially the same thing with less like precision and without the mirrored image. So you can take just like a regular shirt and not do any of that fancy, crazy stuff and just basically pick like an arc. Pick where you want to go. You're naturally going to end up curving it, but essentially do the same thing, fold it up and down. You can even just kind of scrunch it together. It does not have to be that precise. And get something that's not symmetrical, more free flowing. You're still going to have to ice dye if you want it to look this like the crazy colors, but that's just to show that like if you want it to look super, hey, cool cup, nice. I want a cup like that with a mark. Okay.
Well, we have cups like that. Just no mark.
Well, trust me, if we were in normal times, I would be right there actually with you. So
I know COVID sucks. Okay.
We need to step through.
You could get me a Truly.
ooh, okay.
So anyway, I just wanted to show that for anybody who's like, I'm not interested in like marking up the center point here and like, you know,
Our
getting
non-perfectionist.
physics just to fold it up, you can do that. So I wanted to just check in, make sure everybody's like where they want to be, make sure I'm not moving through it too quickly, see if there's any questions. If not,
Oh man, let's get to some color.
all right. So how about this? Will you play a song while I fold up a blank accordion really quick?
Absolutely. It'll give people another opportunity as well to
Get a drink, come back from, fold up
just
your
watch
shit.
you do it one more time.
Yeah.
Yes, definitely.
Okay, cool.
I am going to turn this to me just a little bit, and I'm going to tune my guitar.
Much appreciated.
I was totally going to tune my guitar while you guys were dying, but I was really into getting my situation
No worries.
right, too, because I'm super stoked about my tie-dye. The whole reason that I wanted to do this experience with Savanna is because she is a master at this, and I have always loved tie-dyeing my whole life. I feel like I at least did it once a summer, and it just felt like it wasn't summer. It already feels like it's not summer because of everything going on. So I just kind of thought this was a fun way to get people to come together and, you know, learn something new about their tie-dyeing experience. And yeah, I hope you guys are getting something out of this. This is just fun. It's a Saturday. I hope you're popping open something fun to drink and man. That was an epic opening.
Well, you plug the charger in.
Allie, we also congrats on the baby.
Oh yeah, Allie, you've got several congratulations from this side of the.
Oh, thanks.
No, we're gonna be tie-dyeing some onesies today, I hear.
I'll take a second to show you guys what's here.
All right,
Myself or not, but got
this is gonna be.
over
All
here.
right, yeah. While you guys are
Trying to do something like this.
awesome, yeah. I'll play a song while you guys kind of show us what you're working on.
Yeah, Allie's not dying right now, but gosh, I cannot get the. It is like very backwards. I can't aim this at all. Cool. Yeah, so she's working. What are you doing? Like ripples?
I'm trying to do some. It's
All right. No, you don't believe me some days, but I'm always going out of my way to show you that I love you, babe. Don't you know I love you, baby? I could put 1,000 words in a kiss. I write a novel all over your lips saying I wish I was better at this, but it is what it is. My love for you's a slow drip, a long trip. After one good strong trip, a lot of biting, just a little bit. Yeah, this is my version of a love song. Will you still love me if I get it wrong? Oh baby, we both know putting it on paper's not my nature, but it's something that I'm working on. This is my version of a love song. Yeah. Whenever I'm blowing up your phone, bugging you to get you back home, it's only 'cause I'm running low. I need you tonight to go. License, slow trip, long trip, one good strong trip. Need to get a little bit. Hey, this is my version of a love song. Will you still love me if I get it wrong? Oh baby, we both know putting it on paper's not my nature, but it's something that I'm working on. This is my version of saying everything I don't ever say. My version of telling you what you feel. I feel the same. My version of so much more than any I love you, babe. Hey yo. You want me to do another one?
Love that song.
Yeah.
Another one.
That was a great
Okay.
choice. Thanks.
Let's see if I can do. You guys want to hear something old or something new? Something old? We could do a little nostalgia.
Oh yeah, that's a good one.
All right.
Remix version.
Nostalgia remix
I
version.
like that.
You got it. All right. Oh yeah, you do. But you guys have to sing along. That's the goal.
She throws in like, then I do. Yeah, okay.
Okay.
You have to whistle. Matt can't whistle.
Oh, no, you're gonna sing along.
Oh, there's a whistle.
Okay.
I can't whistle.
So yeah, no one's asking anyone to whistle, especially me, because I don't know how.
I
don't know how to
can't whistle
whistle.
either. No, I can't either.
I cannot whistle. I honestly envy everyone who can whistle. And my
I want to
friend,
be able to like seriously whistle though. Like,
Mine
you know, like put your fingers in your mouth, whistle.
oh yeah,
Like crazy.
Like somebody's
Like
dad.
the dude, like yeah,
yeah,
somebody's dad.
like somebody's mom. Sarah Petrus's mom can do that, and it is amazing.
That's amazing. I don't get it.
Rock and fit too.
Yeah, my dad can do it. That's how he calls us.
Oh.
Doesn't know.
I'm the red balloon at the carnival that you let go of to see how high you got when you took your first sip. Felt so good when it hit your lips, didn't it? Didn't it? Didn't it? Yeah. I'm the night you borrowed your daddy's car so you could look cool when you picked her up all night with the desk by studying science, dying inside because you hated that shit. Didn't you? Didn't you? Oh, now your hands way up in the air to feel me. Oh, and the party's over, you still talk about me. You can find me in your hometown, burning at the radio. Yeah, know me at the stars posters and Polaroid photos. Picked you up when I flew you down. Don't bust it around when I know about you. They call me nostalgia. Nostalgia, nostalgia. Yeah. On that little apartment up in New York, you could barely afford. You were so broke, it's hard when he went off to college. Hurt so bad being that honest, didn't it? Didn't it? How was your birthday night when he burned the chicken? Looking back now, it was your favorite song on the TRL countdown. All the sugar singing it out. I just wanna fly. Come on, oh, lay your hands way up in the air with your feet on me. Oh, and the party's over, you still talk about me. You can find me in your hometown, but at the radio, you know me at the stars posters and Polaroid photos. Picked you up and I flew you down. Don't sit around when I know about you. They call me nostalgia. Nostalgia, 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 nostalgia. Ooh, hey, Oh, that was pretty hilarious because I started in the wrong key, so that was a lot higher than normally was.
But you did it.
So hey, there's a little nostalgia. We're making a little nostalgia today, making tie-dye and hanging out with my very old and lovely friends. So cheers. Well, they're not old. Our friendship is old.
And we're old.
All right.
Well, you look ready.
I'll beat this one.
Yeah, I was able to. So here's my white accordion. I did the same like mirrored vibe that I'm sure some of you guys did, so that we can get into color application. And I'll probably just throw out in the next few minutes, like do that bandana really quickly as well. But I think this is good. I got 3 shirts, bandana, 2 shirts to unwrap when we're done. So, okay. Alrighty. So we've been through our different folding techniques. I think at this point, everybody should have at least something folded up. And if you are like working on, you know, if you did one thing and you want to work on something else, sorry. If you have questions, just feel free to shoot them to the chat. Allie's over here dancing. She thinks her baby onesie looks good.
It's good.
I can't wait to see. I can't wait to see everybody's. I hope that everyone takes pictures of their pieces when they're done. Post them and tag us. You guys can tag us on Instagram. I'll have it in the comments, but at Savgas, that looks awesome. And at Miss Emily Hackett, that's _ between after the miss. And yeah, tag us and show us your stuff.
Oh, and I put off a couple minutes because I forgot to make myself not private, so I will do that.
Oh, okay. Well, yeah.
But yeah, definitely tag me. I'm at Savgas. Also, if anybody wants to buy anything tie-dyed, or I'm sure there's plenty of people that know me on this right now. If you would like to come and like pay me a little bit to tie-dye with me, that's
Absolutely.
cool too. Distanced, of course, but yeah, I'm doing for other people. I'm doing sweatshirts, both hoodies and crew necks, and I'm cropping them if you want. Yeah. If you want to crop your shirt or something, or if you're doing a sweatshirt, I like to crop my stuff.
Ooh,
Sometimes
that's
I
fun.
think it's good to crop it in advance because you can get pretty attached to like cool designs on the bottom and then not want to crop it after the fact. So that's just like a thought. But either way is fine. So if you do decide that you want to actually buy something from me, I am doing kind of like a just kind of as what?
You can be commissioned.
Yeah, I'm basically commissioned art. I will do it like basically as someone orders it. I'm also doing like joggers and sweatpants and stuff. Right now, the best I've found bulk is like kind of the Walmart dad style sweatpants, but I'm working on finding some other cool joggers that I can get for like a decent price. So just if you want something at Savgas, DM me. I am available. I have plenty of free time these days. Anyway, so we're going to get into color mixing first and foremost. Then we're going to get some color on these babies. And then we're going to, you know, wrap it up pretty soon. But, so here's the deal. I'm working with very different colors from you guys, except for JD and Rachel and Johnny and Bruce and everybody at the Hackett's house. I bet they're having fun, right? They got Mosies and friends. So we're talking about is, no matter what, whether you're using stuff like this, which is what the Hacketts had to get, or if you're using your tulip tie-dye kit, the main thing here is that you're gonna want to figure out how diluted you want your colors to be. So if you can Tupperware something, I know that the kits come with the color already in these application bottles. One thing that can be a helpful tool is to pour out some of the color into a Tupperware little cups, or even onto like a paper towel, and you can funnel it back in there with the paper plate, whatever you have. it's easier to take more out and add your water and see what the color looks like and add more back in than do the reverse. If you already put water in your bottles, don't freak out. Look at how bright the color is. If it's too bright for you, pour out some of it and add more water back in. So we're just playing with the dilution of the colors. So pick what colors you want out of your kit. And for Judy and Rachel and Bruce and Johnny and Alexa, you guys start very small with the amount of powder that you're using. I will show you that. For me, these are also the same thing. They are a different brand, but they are fiber reactive dyes. For this, I literally use, this is like a paint can opener. I literally use that much to start out with, and I build. This is like the largest thing I use, and I'll use like the tip of it. Like I'm talking small. Start small, and you can always add more. Okay, so I'm gonna do
Just like, oh shoot. Can you grab that?
I'm going to do sorry, it takes me a minute to like decide on my colors too. But start out, if you have your tulip kit, decide on your colors and just start playing around with the amount of powder to water. And get your paper towel, spray a little bit out, like literally a dot onto your paper towel and see how the shade looks. If it looks super bright, believe me, it will be super bright on your shirt, like super bright. So I'm a fan of more muted colors. Obviously like that one, this one, these are super bright. But go ahead and start working on kind of the guess and check of whether or not you need to add more color versus more water. What color should I do? I have some olive drab. I think I want to do Wedgwood blue. It's that.
I like that one.
I can do this. That's terracotta. I'm going to mix those two up.
That's a brighter terracotta than mine.
It's diluted.
I like it.
Okay, what colors do I
What
want?
about, I like the olive in the mix with the terracotta and that blue.
Okay. I'll make that. Well, I have the olive. I'll do, I think that's olive, not sage.
Well, sage would be cool. Sage would be better.
Sage, so this bodysuit,
Yeah.
that's sage.
That's a.
But
yeah.
olive is cool too.
They're both.
They're
probably
very
good.
similar.
Yeah.
So do you guys want to check, Allie, maybe check and see if there's like questions or comments on here? Because I can't see.
Yeah.
Or
How do you get
I'm
it?
just in the process right now of, it looks like everyone's, nobody's asking too many questions just yet. But I'm just in the process of like kind of pouring out some of my tulip bottles to savor some dye if we need it. For the diluting thing you were talking about. We're kind of discussing over here, like what colors do you think you're going to use more of, and then thus we'll dilute those ones more so that we don't run out of a color.
Yeah, and also the reason I like to go ahead and dump out some of the powder in advance is because you guys can reuse this as much as you want. So instead of mixing it and then pouring dye out to dilute it,
Thank you, babe.
you'll want to be able to save this stuff. You spent money on the kit, and mixed dye you
Yeah.
can save. I do it all the time. This I have a previous use, so you don't have to use everything in one sitting. If you want to use a bunch of colors and you mix a bunch of colors up, great. You can go ahead and save those and do this again next week or something and do more clothes after you've had a chance to like shop around for some stuff. And
Cool.
if you take the powder out, put them in a Ziploc bag, you can add it back later and do this a whole second time. I'm just trying to give tips in terms of like getting the most out of your kit because I know they were like at least 20.
That's a dark blue. I should write this.
gonna make sure they can.
I'm making sure, this is how I'm doing stuff personally, where I'm pouring them into solo cups and then I'm labeling the solo cups for like what the color is so I don't mix everything up.
Perfect. I'm literally removing a color label right now, so it's a great way to stay organized. It's like so good.
I'm drinking.
So I was going to try to use this. Oh, this is orange. It's almost here. So how's everyone doing? Should I play another song while we're doing this? I don't know.
Yeah.
I could do that. How about you guys? I've been dumping out kind of like half the amount of the dye that's in here, putting it in there, labeling it, and then just sticking it in here where it's safe and it's not going to
I
spill
don't
over.
know who all is on this, but I just want to say I love and appreciate you all, and I wish I could see all of you. I hate COVID, and
So which ones
I
have it?
love all of you.
Oh, those.
She has navy. What's of it?
Those. This hasn't.
Check it.
Navy, orange. I think I'm doing green.
I haven't done
She
this.
has green over there.
Right now, here's
It's just these three I've done right here.
probably
Okay. Let's see.
the purple.
Let's see if I can play.
I wonder if
It's like gunpowder.
Give me a second. I'm figuring out what to do.
you want to do the Crumple?
I did. Oh, did I do
Did I
that
do
before you got here? Maybe I did.
There's an LA one that you sent me though. I was listening to
Okay, hang on.
Was it peach?
I think I'm gonna do my Rachel song.
Yes, play your Rachel song.
I haven't played it since I've recorded it for her and played it for her on her birthday, but I know that she's listening right now, so I might as well.
I have to know, how much did she cry?
Oh, it was very sweet crying. It was like the cutest happy tears you've ever seen. It was so she was like, but I thought that you were just gonna write like a joke song. I didn't think it was gonna be real. Or like a line in the song.
I thought it was gonna be like a joke song.
It was
That's
very
cool.
cute.
Super cute.
So-
That's superb.
I'm gonna see if I can get through playing this. I've never done this before, so cut me some slack. Although I could say the same about Worth the Wait, where I completely forgot the words. So. She's a golden ray of sunshine. She's a daisy sitting in a jar by the windowsill. And you can't see real. She's a cotton candy skyline, hanging on to every little second that might go by. She don't even try. Rachel, her eyes are so blue it's painful. Rachel, even her name rhymes with angel. Can't believe how lucky I am just to have her love me so well. Rachel. She is dancing in your kitchen. She is making you jump in the water when you don't really want to. True story. She says you've got no reason not to. Rachel, your eyes are so blue it's painful. Rachel, even her name rhymes with angel. Can't believe how lucky I am just to have her love me so. Rachel, yeah. Oh,
Even a name rhymes with angel. Can't believe how lucky I am just to have her love me so well. Right? Rachel.
Love it.
Yay!
So cute.
And surprise, but I am actually just going to go ahead and put it out because YOLO.
You should put it out.
YOLO.
Love it. So sweet.
No date on when that's coming out yet, but it'll probably be like next week. So
That is true. Okay, friends. How are we doing with mixing up colors? Are we?
yeah, is everyone feeling good? Love this song. And my beautiful best friend, oh, Chloe, so sweet. Maya said the birds were part of the song, right? Yes, they should have been. I should have recorded it outside. Yeah, so were the motorcycles and the lawn service next door and
Leaf blowers.
Okay, so good. No real questions about mixing up colors. That's great. One thing my mom just came through and mentioned. These are the Tulip brand color application bottles. These might be a little bit smaller than the ones that you guys actually have in your kits. I can't tell. I bought these separately outside of a kit.
they look bigger.
Does it look bigger? Chloe, you can attest to this. Can you look at the ones in your kit versus the separate ones I gave you and tell me if there's a difference in size? Please. Just because.
Oh, that's it. We're gonna have to choose.
Well, do you want me to just look like this?
Oh, we do. Yeah, we just.
I can move the hose over.
No, I
Oh, it comes out over here.
Chloe's not even answering
Oh,
us. I'm so rude. But she posted.
Chloe's in. She's here.
Well,
No, she
answer
didn't
my
our
question.
request.
Yeah, they look. So yeah, here's mine.
I think it looks
It's a little. It's like maybe yours is fatter but shorter, and mine's skinnier but
I
wide.
think my main concern is the actual spout here versus between the two. Just be mindful. Test it out on your paper towel. Just make sure it doesn't come out too fast. Like get a little bit of an idea of how fast it's going to come out so that you don't go up to your shirt and just spill dye all over it. Give yourself, an opportunity to check it out because my mom was just letting me know that these spouts are at least fatter than like what we're used to using. So,
All right.
alrighty. So I mixed up 4 colors. I might have to get some more. Actually, I probably need to get some more sage going here. But so I did like this blue color, this terracotta color, an olivey green color, and a brown color. So I'm going for a one picture. I know you guys are mostly going to be working with like brighter, more primary colors or tropical looking colors, but you can totally make them more muted via dilution. So make sure you just get it to a place that you like it, because you have to saturate the shirt. So you really don't want to make it to where in order to saturate the shirt, you're putting like a ton of really, really bright color on there. Unless that's what you want. If you want a rainbow shirt, that's cool too. Okay, so we'll go through and put color on each of these shirts. And my beautiful sis will be demonstrating putting color on the Crumple one. And then I will be putting color on the Accordion fold and the Swirl fold. So here's the deal. I used to do a ton of different colors, like a ton at once. And they used to be super bright. And I used to be doing like rainbow swirls, stuff like that. You can totally still do that stuff. Mix up as many colors as you want. I will tell you how to apply multiple colors all at once. However, I'm going to keep it kind of simple when it comes to what I'm doing right now. Like you are, feel free to do the rainbow style, but right now I'm going to keep it a little bit more muted. So make sure you guys are wearing your gloves because you will dye your hands for a while if you're not wearing them. And please bear with me. I just want to make this area more visible. Oh, you know, I could just scoot this over. Wow, brilliant. Okay. It's a little dangerous, but it's not overly dangerous. Okay. I mean, we just do like, just move all the stuff and scooch her on over. Ah! Okay, so a little dangerous. Sorry guys, bear with me. Boom. So we do not have to wear masks. I used to wear masks because I would do ice dyeing, which is essentially sprinkle dyeing. Really cool. If you ever want to try it, all you have to do is get to this point and then cover your shirts with ice. And then you make sure you're wearing a face mask, but you just take the powdered dye and you sprinkle it on in different areas on top of the ice. And the ice melts and the color saturates the shirt. And that's how you get
so wild.
crazier textures. And it's really cool. But for simplicity today, we're going to do it this way. But if you were to try this again, ice dyeing is super, super cool.
Well, and don't forget to follow Savanna on her socials and all that, because I'm sure she will continue posting more how-tos and such. So
For sure. And especially if like I get feedback and people have enjoyed this sort of thing, I will be driven more to do some how-tos on Instagram. And I also have a tie-dye highlight reel going, so you can always check that out. I'll post stuff to that.
awesome.
So anyway,
Emily, do you like jerky?
I want to.
Emily, do you
like
like
Do
turkey?
you like jerky? The
I was like, guys, I'm gonna mute this now.
But like, do
the
you?
people need to know.
I need to know.
I do like turkey.
Jerky and Aldo. Okay, we're good.
Turkey is great.
Like
Where's my leg? Like meat?
Yeah, there's some in the salon. Bottom of the green thing. All right, put your gloves on. If you don't, you're going to be dyed for a while. It's happened to me recently. I got dye on the inside of my glove. It was a huge nightmare. So I'm specifically talking to Johnny, who asked me last night if he were to get sprinkled with dye, which cool idea, but no, you would be dyed for a while, my friend. Don't do it. Anyway, so I hope everybody can see this pretty well. We've got our swirl. We've got our accordion. We've got our crumple. Allie's going to do the crumple. And my advice with the crumple, you want to keep it to like 1 to 2 colors, because like, so this one, I did a whole bunch.
Oh! I wanted to help.
Hey friends, we're good.
Are you okay?
Yes, we're good.
Okay.
Here.
This is live TV.
Live TV, folks. It happens.
Because it's all right here on the top.
No. No. If there were too many colors on your crumple, it can get kind of muddy. So, oh my gosh. You
I didn't have an opportunity to really laugh at that.
Savannah, I'm like, we're still like, is she okay?
It's good. She's all good.
Oh, I just didn't have an
No, she
opportunity
just
to laugh
needs
at
to
it.
publicly laugh about it. So, just a few colors on a crumple. You're going to end up getting it pretty muddy if you try to overdo it. But also don't be afraid to do bright colors there.
And you want to leave some white space.
And make sure, leave some white space. If you really want it to have white space, rule of thumb is make sure you can actually see some white space on the top. All right, you got to wrap it up. Get your laughs out. Okay. You guys.
Sorry, the margaritas are starting to hit us.
I haven't even had a margarita.
We're doing doing great, you guys. We're getting to the color. We are just killing it. Chloe was very concerned about your safety, Savannah. She wanted to know if you're okay. Everyone is okay. Everyone.
So,
Continue.
We're okay. We just weren't hurt by that.
my dignity is stinging. Everything else is fine. Okay. So, moving on here. Gonna have to kick my Vanna White out if she doesn't wrap it up.
She's fine.
So, let's get to it. When it comes to the swirl, you want to put a different color for each pizza slice / pie slice. Okay, that's how you're going to separate out the colors that you're doing. If you want to do a rainbow swirl shirt, you should do red, yellow, orange, green, purple, all the way around. You know what I'm saying? And if you have too many slices for the amount of colors, you don't have to stay within the lines of the rubber bands because they don't really matter. It's more so just making sure you're doing it in the shape of a slice. So, like I said, I've been focusing on trying to dial it back with the amount of colors that I use. So I actually like to keep some of the wedges completely white. For example, I did just one color on this swirl. It's a little like balled up now because I already rinsed it, but this, I just did olive, and so there's multiple white wedges as well, and I just did exactly the same thing on the backside. And same thing with that bodysuit. I'm not touching this thing behind me ever again. But the bodysuit I showed you with the green swirl, that was 2 colors with mostly like half of it was white space still. So, but if you want to go for multiple colors, like let's say, okay, Chris, you asked if you would be doing like, if it's a vibe, do green and blue and what'd you say? Yellow? Can't remember. All I'm saying is if you use 3 colors like that, if you don't want them to blend together fully and you want to ensure that there's white space, then you're going to want to make sure that you leave some white space here on the shirt. What are we getting? Lots of clue you have to do there.
I think these are probably
the same
old.
one.
Yeah.
Same size. Got it. Cool. Thanks.
So you're leaving white space in the center.
No. Don't
Sorry.
leave white space in the center. X that out.
I'm trying. How do you?
We can still see you, so you're fine.
Great.
Okay, I just really need to not. What? I've been in here like 6 times.
We're stuck in the comment section.
I can't get out of the comment.
Well, let me just tell you, you guys can keep going. We literally see you exactly as you were. So I know that's kind of frustrating not to see yourself, but
Yeah.
oh, well, now we can't see you. Oh, now we can.
There it is.
There
Got
we
it.
go. Okay.
Okay. Great.
Oh, hey,
Okay.
we're back in business. All right. Oh, this is good. This is good. This up close wheel.
Yeah. If you wanted to do like full on rainbow, you would do in order Roy Bibb. Isn't that it?
Roy G. Bibb.
In the pizza slices here. Okay. If you want to totally ensure, there will be white space no matter what, but if you want to totally ensure it, leave 1 or 2 or more of these completely blank. I like to do these colors these days.
You're saying
So I definitely.
with Roy G. Bibb, you would be doing like each color is a different wheel, like red,
Yes.
yellow, green. Okay.
Yes. And one thing I mentioned that I want to be clear about is that the rubber bands, they don't matter when it comes to the actual pattern of this and where your color is going to go.
Right.
It's to be used as a guide, and it's also to keep the shirt together. So if you did want to do a full-blown rainbow and the number of colors don't match up with the number of wedges on your swirl, you can do it essentially freehand. Don't worry about where the rubber bands are falling. Do as much or as little as you need to get around with the amount of colors that you need. And I hope that makes sense. That makes sense? Cool.
Yeah.
So, but I'm more into white space these days. I'm going to definitely leave some of these wedges blank. With the accordion, if we want to use this other shirt as a guide again, this guy, you're basically, the way this kind of stripes across here with different colors going this way is essentially how you should envision when you're doing this, because it's going to go across, like do different colors this way, not this way. So it does not have to fall within these sections, these predetermined sections of the rubber bands. Choose however many colors you want. You certainly don't need to do 20 million like these rubber bands show. You can do, you know, a couple colors and repeat them. You can do, you know, leave some white space. They won't be fully connected if you leave white space, but definitely don't use the rubber bands as like, oh my God, I have to like have these, like this many colors. You don't have to do that. But essentially you will be dyeing. If you're switching colors, do it from like one color's here, one color's here, one color's here, not this way. If that makes sense.
Okay, but we'll get to that one too. We're on swirl mode.
We'll do it live in action. I just wanted to explain because a lot of people will get into it and then not want to be looking up and whatever. So Crinkle, again, the simplest thing ever. You essentially, you really can, if you wanted to do one color, just spray one color all over it. For an example, I did 2 colors here, and I did each little pod a different color, and then added a little bit into the parts that fell between the pods. So this, I like to leave white space, not too much, but that just ensures that you are going to have some. These can get really easily saturated depending on how tightly you banded them up earlier. So just make sure, once again, it's nice and squeezed together. Decide how many colors you're going to do. Again, I don't think you should do a ton on a crumple, but then there's no real like rules when it comes to that. You can do that however you want. You can do one color all over it, and you're going to flip it over and do that to the back, or you can do it per pod and mix it up, but that one's definitely more of like a free flowing, you can do what you want situation. So, all right, let's get into it. Yeah, there's burgundy in this box.
So psyched right now.
Yeah, I'm pretty hyped.
I am hyped.
You psyched, dog?
Emily, what colors are you using? And what?
Dude, I have so many options. It's really hard to know, but I think I'm going to kind of stick to my warm tones right now.
Okay.
For this particular swirl, I'm just going to keep it all like reds and peaches and yellows and stuff.
Love that. Alrighty.
These ladies are making fun of me.
Who's over there? Is it Gato and Chelsea?
Yes, it's just these two assholes, you know.
Specifically which one? Oh,
Specifically which assholes?
hi guys.
Hi, Allie. We love you.
I love you too. I was also talking to Chelsea Gato.
Oh, she's not talking to you.
Oh.
Hi, Allie.
She can see you, but Allie can't see you.
Well, I don't know how to. I can move, but I don't have my mouse.
All right, guys. Allie, feel free to use whatever you want. This is olive. This is shiitake mush. This is terracotta. This is shiitake mush.
Oh, we gotta put our gloves on. Everyone,
Gloves.
highly recommend gloves.
Said it again.
Yeah.
Johnny, put your gloves on. Please.
I'm gonna stay over here. Finish your margarita bottle.
This is olive. Shiitake mush.
You're doing it all right. Oh wait, you have to. Okay. Seriously?
Your neighbors are
Seriously,
killing us.
there is a damn car alarm going off. I'm muting.
Yeah, I like that. Okay. I think. Or even the mush.
Is the mush like a blue?
No.
Brown.
Mush
Here,
is
come
a
over here. I'll show you. Here, look. Oh yeah, she'll show you. She'll show you.
Olive in the mush.
I like the mush.
I love it.
Shiitake mush.
What is she? You're muted.
Yeah, you're
Because
muted.
there's an
Oh, there's
alarm
a car alarm there, huh?
Oh.
Okay, y'all, I'm gonna get to it. Gonna start going. So I'm gonna do Wedgwood blue and terracotta, and maybe that's it. On swirl.
Okay.
Those two.
Sure.
Maybe I'll add some mush. Oh.
I believe in you, Al.
We're discussing her color options right now. I think she should add on this swirl she's doing. She's talking about
That flannel.
these two
colors.
And I think she should add this kind of downplayed olive color also
Ooh, yeah.
into this
We're
swirl.
gonna
Let's
do
see it.
it.
We want to see your technique.
Go for it. Y'all just get after it and really make sure your shirt is saturated
Awesome.
in there.
Emily, do you want a bag underneath this?
Emery. I think I'm good. I'm gonna just watch this. You know. Oh wow! So
Skipping a whole wedge over here and moving on this direction. So I want it to be muted and have some whites in it. And like have your colors meet in the center of the swirl. You're gonna
Okay.
want it to meet. So don't avoid the center of your shirt.
This is the one on 8. I think you just cut it across.
okay, so we're just on. Okay, we haven't gotten to our accordion yet, right? So our
Yeah, we
YouTube
haven't gotten to
our
accordion yet.
accordion.
I will do them kind of simultaneously. So I started my swirl.
Okay.
Now with accordion, you really just want,
Let's all agree.
it's totally up to you the way that you want to do this. Like
Right.
just make sure when you're doing your colors, you're going this way and transitioning this way. So you can really just do whatever you want, but I would keep these sections, like don't switch colors from here to here. Just do it this way.
Do like
Do it
thick
as you
chunks. Do you recommend like keeping it only to like 3 colors or not really?
Like, I like probably with this one, I think you can do more, to be honest. Like, I did quite a few on this one.
Mm-hmm.
Because you almost have like my 2 colors here at the center of the
Mm-hmm.
shirt. These all happen in one area. So like one of your ends is just gonna be this centerpiece. And then I have 1, 2, 3, 4, like 5 colors moving across.
And you do them going from like left to right on the shirt.
So like this, you're more like crumpled. You're gonna remember like this spatter area.
Mm-hmm.
It is.
Cool.
And so pick one of your ends like this. Since the sleeve is here, this is the bottom of the shirt.
Okay.
I don't know if I'm flipped around, to be honest, on camera, but doesn't really matter. Just pick like one end to start from, and you can do like 5 colors across.
Okay, cool.
Moving
Choose 5 more.
like horizontally,
Yeah.
I mean, vertically.
Did you do the pimple one yet?
No, not yet. Well, Allie's doing that right now. That's one that you can like. The scrunch one is one that you can do one color on the whole thing if you wanted to, and it'll come off like different.
That's kind of cool.
So Allie is doing crinkle right now, and so far she put olive on 2 of the pods, and she's going in with terracotta right now on another. So her technique is she's going first for the pods and covering those with color,
Yes,
and then she'll probably work on the sections that are kind of like middle ground between. But that with crinkle, you can really like do whatever. She might even do some half and half pods. Do free reign on the crinkle.
You can do whatever wild stuff you
Wild stuff.
Wild.
Get
We getting wild.
Yeah.
Again, you guys remember that there are no mistakes in tie dye. So,
I know
But-
it's hard to believe while you're doing it because
Yeah.
you're intending to do something, but there aren't. There really aren't.
every time that you, I will say, like opening these tulip containers, like they definitely kind of like spray every time you open them. So, if you don't want like a splotch of a different color on your shirt, just make sure you open it away from everything.
Blank.
What's their orange and what?
Oh my gosh.
Blue? It's all maybe blue.
That's fine.
So,
Yeah, I really like the bird noises in the background.
What if I'm like,
Oh, you're fine.
I suppose I could be playing another song right now, but I'm currently very much enjoying tie-dyeing. So maybe I'll just kind of like fill you guys in on where I'm at. Anyone who's curious musically, but I do have more songs coming out this year, but COVID has been like just crazy, and I'm very much an advocate for the conversations that are happening with Black Lives Matter right now. So I've tried to be respectful of that as well. And, I've just kind of taken my time on releasing some of these songs, and we're also taking our time on producing them. We might not have moved as fast as we had thought we would on some of these songs. So we're just, we're taking the song from the universe and taking our time. And I think that that's okay, because we have that, and that's the true gift that we've all been given with this season. And but if stay tuned, because there are more songs to come, and I'm really excited about all of them. And then there are the surprise songs like Rachel that I never knew I was even going to write and never knew I was going to put out. But I think that that's kind of what the point is, right? With art, I think, you create in order for yourself to get something off your plate. And sometimes it's just for you, and sometimes it's not. And sometimes it's just kind of like a why not situation right now that we're in. And I think that I've had stories in the past that have been really very happy accident success stories, from like Take My Hand, the wedding song that was never intentioned to be anything more than just a wedding song for friends, and has really launched a career for me. And so I kind of look at this time as, it's all right to just go off of only the things that inspire you, and that's okay. And, find joy in the everyday, and, we'll all eventually get through this. So that's kind of where I'm at right now.
I love that. Yeah, that's great. For everybody that's doing the crinkle and the swirl, make sure that you flip it over for the swirl, do a mirror image of what you did on the front. And for the crinkle, it's again really whatever you want. Like, there's no real rules. I still like to kind of keep it similar, but don't feel pressure to have it look, have the same colors in each same area when you flip it over.
I sort of
She's not rogue, and it looks great.
what color should do, and then the back I just kind of
It looks
something.
She did terracotta,
That's
shiitake,
pretty.
and olive. Nice. And I think I'm gonna lighten it up for this. I'm gonna do glass, and
That's gonna be a lot of things to do, but
The orange tree looks a little ready at first.
I'm so excited to see how all these turn out.
me too.
It's gonna be really fun. I hope that you guys are feeling confident. I want to see some comments over here. I should probably put this down for a second and see what's going on. I know we've been at this for some time now, and I just I feel like you guys are really doing a great job. Rachel's asking for some can you show me a finished accordion again, please? I don't know if she's asking for the fold, maybe a closer up of that fold that you were showing. And yeah, just anytime that you can give some more close-ups, Savanna, I think people would appreciate that. Y'all are doing a great job, so thank you.
This was the one that was folded up in April. That was folded up. That's finished. Fold that up to show
I think
it.
people kind of want to see what the folded up versions look like to make sure that they're folding correctly and all that.
Here.
Yeah.
Ooh, I have dye on my hands, so now I have dye on my shirt. That's something that. Let me get gloves.
All right. Could be a happy accident. You never know.
Yeah, I never really freak out too much on that. Some people do, though. People
Like
in this room, people in this room.
Like whatever spray this is on my
Well,
sleeve.
and that's like when you speckle. When you do like the ice dye and you sprinkle
This is
dye,
a good example
it
of
gives
that.
you actually like you can see what like you can see what made up the color. There's like speckles of blue and yellow, and I don't know if you can see it.
I don't think they can.
Anyway, accordion folds. Okay, so this is the end of the shirt. This is like. This is the sleeves. There's going to be a fat, it's like a doll thing. Okay? It really does. So, it doesn't really matter which end is which, but just get it to the point here where your folds still look like they are intact and lay it out flat. And you're going to go this way with your colors. So for me, I'm thinking about doing like sea glass and sage and peach. And I'm going to do one color like from here to here, another color from here to here, another one from here to here, another one from here to here. So you're not going to be doing different colors from like top to bottom. You're going along with the folds, if that makes sense. So let me know if you have further questions about that, but I can show you again. Wait, show like, yeah. Well, I'm trying to mix up my colors.
Savannah, do you do the back side of the crunch?
Yeah, I do the back side of the
And try and make it the same color on the back side?
I don't worry too much about making it a mirror of the front side, but you certainly can. I'm gonna need to empty out some of these bottles, I think. Where's my stuff? Oh, I moved.
Yes.
Oh, you have my stuff. No worries. I wish I could hear everybody, but I hope everyone's dyeing experience is going well. I think I might have just overdone it with this dye I just made.
Hi, sorry, we're back. We didn't want to interrupt you. We're just killing it. Alex is feeling very confident about the first one that she made, which actually happened to be Auburn colors, which I know you'll appreciate. And Syracuse colors.
That's a cute.
Matt's got this nice orange. Let me see if I can show you guys what we've got going.
Try to show us what I'm doing.
Yeah, I gotta take these gloves off, which are it's a task. It's a task for sure. All right. And Mikey's out here with our second round of Margos. Okay.
What a good guy.
I'm gonna lift this baby up without being too wild. So, okay, that's my little guy right there. And I'm not done with that last pie. I'm figuring out what to put in there, but I've pretty much stuck to my warm colors. Mikey's showing us his margarita skills. And he's also wearing a tie-dye shirt, of course, today. And then we've got, let's see, can I bring this over here? Yes, I can. You're good, Chelsea. Yeah. All right, so we've got a couple accordion styles here. One is like red, white, and blue, basically. And then we've got one that's kind of like goes down the rainbow a little bit. Yellow, green, or turquoise, blue, and then back to like orange, red. I think they're going to be awesome. And then we've got a red and black and white one, which we were trying to stick to our UGA colors. We've got some UGA fans in the house. And then we've got our kind of like Syracuse / Auburn colors here on this scrunch.
Don't show this, I messed up.
And then,
That's the poop one.
and then that's the poop one, she says, because she's not feeling great about it. But you know what?
The poop one.
The
but
poop one will probably end up being awesome.
That's normally how it goes. There's always a poop one, and the poop one ends up being cool. So.
I love that. Yeah, I have no idea what I'm gonna do next because I've got 2 more that I've got to go through. But Alex was saying like sometimes it seems like maybe less is more, like in terms of colors.
Yes, less is definitely more. That's why I really suggest diluting your colors so much because you have to saturate the shirt. But I think when you get with really vibrant colors and that much saturation, it gets to be kind of a lot.
Totally.
So yeah, totally right on that.
I'm very excited about all of these.
How long does it take for them to dry?
Yeah, so tell us about the drying experience as we're doing our colors.
Hold on, she's be right back.
Oh, just kidding. Everyone keep on keeping on.
Okay, sorry guys. I just want to make sure I make some different colors for this accordion so it's not all that same little color scheme we got going on over here. I'm gonna do sea glass and peach.
Ooh. You got such fancy names.
Yeah, I got all the listen, we have like a disease in this family. It's called like buying all of the equipment and supplies for every small hobby we have.
You guys are big Hobby Lobbyers.
Yeah, big hobby lobbyers. You know, special order the guys, and we just like to get after it. What about the drying process? So.
Oh, we just wanted to know, like you were talking about putting things in like Kroger bags and stuff.
Yep, when you're done dyeing, go ahead and put one thing at a time. Don't put a bunch of stuff in one.
I'm putting my one bandana completed swirl in a tie-dye bag, or in a tie-dye bag, in a Kroger bag.
Perfect.
And
one at a time, put your stuff in a grocery sack and tie it up. It doesn't have to be like crazy tied up, but you want it to make sure you want to make sure it's moist throughout the next few hours. And the rule of thumb is letting it sit for as few as 6 hours and as many as 24.
Okay, so the longer you let it sit, I'm assuming the more vibrant it's going to be.
Yes, and also the better the color will stay in terms of like washouts and stuff like that.
Right.
You're just giving the fabric and the material more time to really adhere to the shirt. Let's see here. What am I doing?
Got a spray.
All right, so I'm going into my port right now.
Don't get the guitar.
Yeah,
I know. And I'm hitting this whole end with one color. And with the accordion, the back side, you're gonna want to meet the front side. Like whatever colors you're doing, you want to keep it consistent.
You look for fresh, Chelsea. You look for indeed.
Spider.
Get in there.
That's probably
That's what it's all about.
what you're craving, honestly.
It's all about.
It is rejuvenating. It's the ocean is rejuvenating. For sure.
So, okay, you know, I might, I guess, play another song while we're doing this because everyone's still doing stuff, and I know I can always keep this dyeing process going. So,
Yeah, if anybody has questions, I'm doing the accordion right now. As you can see, I've done 3 colors so far, and I'm moving along the line of the folds.
yeah, let's see if there's nothing that I'm seeing so far. I hope you guys are all doing great. Love it. Let's see. Oh,
Okay.
Okay.
Lunch. There you go.
what should I do? What should I do? Let's see.
Make sure with the accordion, when you flip it over to the back side, you want to stick with exactly the same colors that you did on the front side in the same area. Don't go rogue on this one.
Why did you wait to leave? Who did you think you were helping? You could have cut the tie, saved yourself all that time. Why did you wait to leave? Was it a big surprise when all your words turned into lies? When every lie to you was everything but true? Was it a big surprise? Why was it easy to do the wrong thing? But it's the wrong thing always. Have it way with me. Where is the good girl? Wanna do better, but she picked me up along the tree. Now it just goes easy. Why did you have to cheat? You knew his heart couldn't take it. Yeah. It could have broken clean instead of shine of it. Why did you have to cheat? Why was it easy to do the wrong thing? But it's the wrong thing always. Have this away with me. Where is the good girl? Wanna do better, but she picked me up along the tree, and now we just gone easy. Yeah. Where is the good girl? The one who knew better. She picked me up along the tree. Now it just goes, now it just goes, now it just goes easy.
Woo!
Love it.
I'm sorry. I literally was just looking through the comments and I see Chloe. It's like, oh my God, Sav, are you okay?
Everyone is very concerned.
Yeah. fun.
That'll always be one of my favorite songs.
Yeah, I love that song. All right, friends. So done dyeing these. If you want to see the finished accordion up close, I can at least like lift it up a little bit. Yeah, do you want to get the camera? You want to go it that way? You can see our finished products over here.
Yeah, show us some of that stuff you did yesterday.
Yeah, that stuff
We don't plan on any of that.
Okay, so I just wanted to show
Awesome. This looks so good.
accordion crumple.
I love the white space that you did on that swirl.
Yep. So I like to make sure that there's some in there these days at least. But whatever you guys did, I'm sure it will look amazing. So I'm really looking forward to seeing it.
Yeah.
So basically next, which I will do this later, like bag these on top of a little Tupperware. That's what it's. So I'll bag these up in separate little baggies, or I can leave them here because they're still up for a while. But so you guys make sure you wrap yours up, tie it up. You want it to stay moist or excuse me, I hate that word, damp. Yeah, those gross. You want to stay damp for the next 6 to 24 hours. And then it'll be like opening up a Christmas present when it's time to open.
Yes.
It's so fun. So when you go to rinse your stuff out, you'll want to wear gloves still because residual dye can come off of it and you just don't want to look like paint all the time. I have dye on my hands, so make sure you wear your gloves. And I like to start with cold water when I'm rinsing and then move towards hot. And just the goal is to keep it wrapped up as long as you can. Obviously with crumples that is not always possible, but I like to keep it in the fold, especially with swirls, stuff like that. You can keep it pretty well together and try to wring it out as you're rinsing it through until the water is mostly clear, and then start to take the rubber bands off and you can continue rinsing it once it's unwrapped. And then really all you do is wash it normally in the washing machine, and you can wash multiple pieces that you've done in the same sitting. I'd say the max you can do in one load is 8 things. That's the max. But it will not muddy up the shirts. It will not transfer dye from one to the other while they're in the washing machine. So you're fine on that. In terms of the dryer, I would say that's just personal preference. I don't love to dry things because I just don't like them to shrink up because all of this stuff is always cotton. But you can, do what you would normally do there. It's safe on the tie-dye at least, but I just personally don't love to shrink everything up. One thing that I wanted to share with you guys that's kind of a fun tip, if you do a sweatshirt or a t-shirt or something that's pretty starchy, pretty stiff, and it's brand new, and you're really looking for that distressed vintage tie-dye vibe that's out there right now, something that you can do is salt brine your clothes. I just did this on this sweatshirt. It's pretty soft. I feel like I washed it and I didn't dry it, so I need to put some fabric softener on it. So basically, salt brine your clothes for 3 days. Put it, fill up a bucket of water. I think I'm trying to remember the ratio, a cup of salt to a gallon of water, I believe. And
you Epsom salt?
I did normal, regular kosher salt. I think you could probably use whatever you want. I did kosher salt and leave it in the bucket for 3 days and then just wash it normally, and it will definitely wear down the fabric of your sweatshirt and wear down the fibers a bit so that it feels really worn in and more like a vintage item. So that's just a cool
Love
trick.
that.
I'm gonna do that.
That is a cool trick. 3 days, you said? 3 or 4 days?
3 days for a salt brine, yeah.
Awesome.
The interwebs will do that. Oh, you did.
That's what I was looking
That's what you
Allie over here, she is the one that encouraged me to salt brine the clothing. So let's all give her
Give me
around.
give me the attention I need.
So, there's also other ways you can do that. Look it up. It depends on the fabric that you're using. You can also brine in vinegar too, like plain white distilled vinegar. There's kind of a lot of options. So, anyway.
Unveil.
Yes,
Nope.
we'll do an unveiling of the 2 things I did last night, which I already rinsed these. I gotta say, this is the first time I'm using like the marigold yellow color. And I combined it with this purple. I hope it looks cool. Y'all do not judge me if it doesn't. This is
Let
the
me
other.
get
You just never know. Did it pretty late at night. And I know that I actually put it in a bag that had tie-dye in it before. And I think I got some.
Oh boy. I love unveilings.
So this was a crumple I did last night.
Woo.
Little purple and yellow action. Ooh. Okay.
Looks good. I knew it would.
Yep.
Oh, it's beautiful. I love that.
I like that touch of accidental red.
Yeah, I actually really like the accidental red. No. So, fun times. Here's a crumple.
Awesome.
I like it.
Very cool.
And if you guys like the more like defined look of a crumple, like this one I showed earlier, you're gonna want to try ice dyeing if you like that. That's how you achieve that look in general.
Cool.
And the ice is really just like getting to the point of your folding's done, you top it with ice, and then you sprinkle your dye on top of the ice and wait for it to melt. Okay, here is Swirl with olive drab. I just did it one color and left some white on here. So let's see how it
No,
turned
this is
out.
gonna look great.
Oh, cool. This is my Emily Hackett.
Oh, yay! Looks so good. I love the olive color.
It looks so good. I love it with the maroon burgundy logo. It is so
And the spiral is so perfect with that.
good.
Yay!
So
That
cool.
looks so great.
I
The color
really,
looks better in person. It's
the
good.
color is even more like muted and beautiful in person. So love this. Super happy with how it came out.
Love it. Me too.
This is
Man.
This is a medium. I'll ship this back to you,
What do we
or
got in the
will I see you soon?
Well, it looks so
This is yours.
nice.
If you want to
I
give
love
some
it.
but it's yours.
Yes.
Cool. So those are the 2 things that I kind of like set myself up to unveil to you guys today.
You're
I
gorgeous.
can take to the gram to unveil these things tomorrow or later this evening.
So everyone needs to get on that gram.
Yeah, I'm gonna be mad. Like I want to see what everybody did. You have to post. So.
I can't wait to see everybody's stuff. You guys, this has been so awesome. Savannah, thank you so much for being like an amazing coach through all of this and so patient. You've been a really great teacher for the whole experience.
I hope everybody was able to get something out of this. I hope I was clear and I hope I didn't overwhelm people. It's definitely my first time teaching something like this, but yeah, it's just something I love, something I've been doing for a long time, and I think it's just something fun for people to do right now when we don't have, a ton of options for fun stuff to do. So
Absolutely.
Thank you.
Yay!
That's pretty much all I got for you guys.
Bravo.
More questions or anything like that? That is kind of the end of my how-to. Also, remember you can go to my Instagram at savgas, and you can pretty much commission something to be done by me. I will do it. I will send it to you. Mostly doing crop sweatshirts, t-shirts, trying to do socks. I will let you guys know when I find some cute, cool socks that will actually take on the dye. yeah, I'm gonna find something, sweatpants, stuff like that. So you guys just let me know. I can make it.
Awesome. Well, thank you guys again so much. Please take pictures of your tie-dye. Tag both of us in it, Sav Gas and Miss Emily Hackett. Thanks for hanging out with us, for listening to tunes. I hope you just have a fabulous rest of your Saturday and tie-dye away, man.
Yeah, guys. Yes.
Love you, Sav. Love you,
Love
Gasway.
you.
Bye.
Bye.
Hold it.
Bye.